Hi, and welcome to this edition of T-360. I'm Costolnick. I'm here with two-time national beam champion and five-time All-American in 3 different events, Candis Kowalik. How are you doing, Candis?
Good.
Good. So as before, I mentioned that you have a lot of accolades here in the collegiate level, but I just want to backtrack for a second and talk about like the early years of you as a gymnast. So when did you first start getting into gymnastics?
I was about 3 years old. My mom signed me up for a dance class down the road, and I was doing cartwheels in the class, and it was also a gymnastics gym. So she stuck me in the other side because dance was not happening. I was hitting people with doing cartwheels and stuff.
Have you found like any significant role models, like starting from a young age, like 3? There's bound to be a couple of role models that you've based your performance off of.
I definitely looked up to like former Olympians like Carly Patterson, Nastia Liukin, and gymnasts like that, but my mom has definitely been my biggest role model, watching her like push through a lot, and she definitely helps me with everything that I do.
So like you said, you told me before the interview that you grew up in Rhode Island. How did you end up at a D3 school like Brockport?
Well, my coach was a gymnast at Rhode Island College, and she told me that she competed with Brockport, and she said they were a very successful Division III school, so she promoted me to just apply at least, see it, look into it. I mean, it wasn't like, I wasn't like crazy about it, but I was like, okay, I'll apply, and I applied, and Feeney saw it, and he emailed me, and he was like, I noticed you applied, like I really want to keep in touch, this is how we're doing, you should definitely come for a visit, and I did, and I loved it.
So Coach Feeney extended an olive branch out to you, and you accepted, and now you're obviously here. So how do you think the gymnastics program did this year opposed to your last year, your freshman year?
This year we actually broke a school record. We were building meet after meet, doing very well. I honestly think because we had, last year, half the team was freshmen. Yeah. And this year, we happened to have like a team of like our freshman class was smaller, so we had more of like a bond because it wasn't like half the team was new. So we did a lot better because we had more personal connections that definitely helped us with our season.
So would you say that like more experience and more team unity definitely contributed on the mats? 100%.
Like there was just so many more bonds. Like we had been through so much more together, and to be able to like break a school record, it took a lot of like, we were facing like a team that was ranked above us, and it took team unity. Like honestly, it was the support, it was the screaming, it was non-stop high fives and hugs, and you got this, like all the motivation. Like if we didn't have such a close bond, I really believe that we wouldn't have broken the school record when we did, but we pulled out a really strong meet.
Obviously that team unity definitely paid off. You guys sent, I believe you said 14 gymnasts to nationals this year. So you yourself won the National High Beam Challenge for the 2nd year in a row. Did you face any added pressure coming to this event, having won it previously?
Honestly, I would say I felt more pressure in the beginning of season. It was like when I first started doing beam, I had fallen a few times, and I was like, oh my, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like I'm not allowed to fall. Like I'm supposed to be the one who is constantly sticking it, and so my teammates had to remind me that it wasn't just about me, that it was for the team and it didn't matter. And Feeney also reminded me that it takes 24 routines to lose and win a meet. So that definitely helped. And by the time I got to nationals, like I obviously wanted to do well, but on individual day, I wanted to represent Brockport. We didn't have such a strong meet the first day, so on day 2, we were all coming back to prove why we were ranked #1 going in.
So obviously you're looking forward to have a three-peat again this upcoming year in the high beam. Do you find it difficult to maintain your routine, like everyday routine, throughout off season as well?
Well, not really, because the routine that I'm doing, I've done throughout all 4 years of high school too. So like I've obviously like definitely cleaned it up a lot compared to when I was in club gymnastics. But as far as off season, I still work out at my old club gym, and then when I come back, we have about 4 months to get back into meet readiness. So it's not that hard to keep up with it. I definitely have been working on new things and trying new tricks in the routine, but I would say it depends on the time of year.
Time of year, I'm assuming that like your off season is a little more laxed. You can catch up on schoolwork, do things like that, whereas opposed to meet season is probably way more hectic.
Oh yes, definitely crazy. Constant, like, it's a lot harder to miss a meet during the year. Like, not necessarily a meet, but like a meet week during the year. So if you have schoolwork, it's like I have to squeeze it in the morning. I have to get up earlier. I have to stay up later. Like, as opposed to like we're in the off season, it's like, hey, Fiend, I got to catch up on some schoolwork. I won't be at practice today.
Now, obviously, like during each one of the practices, you work on different things, different routines. Is there a certain routine that you would like to improve on, especially this year?
Well, actually, technically right now I am a specialist because I do 3 events. But next season, hopefully I will be an all-around gymnast. I'm really going to try and work on bars. I did it in club because most of us were all-arounders in club. But when I got to college, I dropped it because I needed to be mentally prepared to compete for my team, especially like it was just complete club and college are very different when it comes to meet. So like rushing from event to event, the warm-up time is different. So this season I'm hoping to be able to do bars. See how that goes.
Not as confident in bars as you are in probably the high beam.
Everyone tells me that I should be more confident because my bars are good. I just like, they're not my favorite. I am like very nervous. My dog is actually named after a skill on the bars because I got a puppy when I got the move, but I am still petrified of the bars.
Petrified of the bars, okay.
Definitely.
I'll be sure to watch out for that next time. Opposed to your routines normally, can you just tell the viewers a little bit about how you go up to, like, how do you get in the mindset before you start competing?
Well, in the beginning it was really tough because last year it just kind of came naturally. I was like, oh, this is fun, and I was all bubbly. And then this year I was like, oh my goodness, I have already done this. I have to make sure I do really well. Like, I'm in the bottom half of the lineups. Like, I really need to hit. So this season I started having like a select teammate that I would pull aside right before I went, and they would give me a little pep talk. And I definitely, like, they had to like tell me funny things. The key to like getting me to do a successful routine was like getting me to relax, saying something funny. Like, if I could smile before I did a routine, I was definitely gonna hit it.
Now, who is that special teammate to you?
Well, it's different on every event. Like on vault, it would definitely be Steph. She goes right after me. But we'd always, like, we have this thing called Tac 10. It's like sticky, and it like kind of helps so you don't slip on the vault. And we would like hold it together, and we're like, all right, we're both gonna do this. We're gonna do really well. On beam, it was Megan. She would always come over because beam is like I tense up my shoulders like up to my ears, and like she would say something funny, and then I could just feel them fall, and then I would smile at the judges, and I would know like all I got to do is hit. And on floor it was Jamie. She was in the corner. She's like, you have to do this no matter what. It's different for every event.
Well, I know all of us at Talent Television hope that you guys do again repeat, you especially in the high beam this year. As for us, this concludes this episode of T360. Please, before you go, make sure to subscribe to our Talent Television on social networking, and good night.